we start with 6 rows of just plain garter stitch or knit stitch, both sides. Okay, till the end of the row. I'm going to do 2 rows of cabbage stitch. This starts out the same as a knit stitch, but instead of coming between the 2 needles to wrap, I'm going to wrap around both needles and then in between. I knit off the same as usual. Again, start out the same, wrap both needles and then in between the needles and knit off. Around both, in between, knit off. Around both, in between, and knit off. And you will continue to do this stitch each time until the end of the row. Following this row, you will again do 6 rows of plain garter stitch. And I'll come back when I'm ready to do the next stitch. Okay, I've done 3 rows of garter stitch. I think before I said 6, but actually after the cabbage stitch, it's actually 3. And if you pull the cabbage stitch out, if you do it back to front, you get a lovely lace pattern, which will block nicely later. You do 3 rows of the garter stitch, and then you're going to do an elongated stitch. With this stitch, again, it's like the knit stitch, but instead of just wrapping once, you are going to wrap in between twice, 3 times. Okay? So 3 times, knit off as normal. Again, 1, 2, 3 times, and knit off. You'll continue to do this for every stitch until the end of the row. The beauty of this will come out in the next row when you go back to the regular garter stitch. So let me finish the row and then we'll go to the first row of the garter stitch, which will pull this stitch out. You finished your row of the elongated stitches. Now you're going to do 6 rows of garter stitch. When you do your knit stitches, for each section you will have 3 loops on your needle. 1 will be coming down into the last stitch from the previous row. You will put your needle under here and knit off as normal. As you pull this off, the other 2 loops will come. It looks a little bit raggedy the first row of garter stitch. Don't worry about it. This will even out. As you do each row after this, you will be able to pull the lace pattern out as you stretch it. Let me get to the end of this row. On the next row, you'll be able to see even better. Okay, so at the end of the first row of garter stitch, you'll have a chance to pull this out a little bit and kind of see the lace pattern. It's really pretty, very open weave, and as you continue to build, this is the pattern that you'll get. The pattern will be posted on my blog, crafterdays.blogspot.com, and on the Irresistible You website under Classic Shades. For the rest of the scarf, you will continue to do 2 rows cabbage stitch, 3 rows knit, 1 row elongated stitch, 5 rows of the knit stitch. In the end, you will end up with 4 rows of the garter stitch and bind off.